solving absolute value equations when there's one absolute value sign, well, I'm going to approach from a different perspective. I know what absolute value does. Always forces whatever is inside here to be positive. So let's think about that. So I have this stuff in here. I want it to be positive. It ends up being positive after I do absolute value. So if this stuff in the middle, so like x squared minus 3x, if this is positive, then I don't have to do anything to it. It's already positive. The absolute value is redundant. So I'm going to assume this is positive right now, and so then I get negative 4x plus 6. Now, I don't know if this is positive. It could be negative inside, so I'm going to assume it's negative. I'm going to assume that this calculation is negative. In order to make sure it's positive without the absolute value sign, if I take this negative number and multiply by negative, I guarantee now this is a positive value. And so that is going to be 4x plus 6. Each side I'm going to simplify and solve, and we'll see what we get. And then check our answers always at the end. So I get x squared plus x minus 6 is 0. And so this is x plus 3, x minus 2 is 0. And so x equals minus 3, or x equals 2. Let's take these values and check them into our answers here. I'll check them in green. And so I get negative 3 squared minus 3 minus 3. Absolute value makes 9 plus 9, which is 18. If I plug in my minus 3 into the other side, I get minus 4 times minus 3 plus 6, which is 12 plus 6, which is 18. This is one of my answers. Checking the 2 now, I have 2 squared minus 3 times 2, absolute value. So 4 minus 6 is 2. Put it to the other side, minus 4 times 2 plus 6 is negative 2. These aren't the same, so therefore scratch that one out. So now let me take this part of the equation and let's bring it all down here and continue to solve. Oh, down low as I go. Extend the page a little bit. Let's do the other half now. So as I come here, I'm going to go minus x squared plus 3x equals negative 4x plus 6, which is, if I bring everything over to this side of the equation, I get x squared minus 7x plus 6 is 0. And so x minus 6 and x minus 1 equals 0. If I substitute these values back in, I know, well, this is x is 6 and x is 1. Absolute value of 6 squared minus 3 times 6 is 36 minus 18, which is 18. If I put it in the other side, it's minus 4 times 6 plus 6, which is a negative 18. Not the same, can't be 6. When I look at this one, it is 1 squared minus 3 times 1, absolute value, which ends up being 1 minus 3 is 2. The other side is minus 4 times 1 plus 6, that is also 2. So here is my answer, x equal to 1 and x equal to minus 3. Now my experience shows me that it is very typical that when you do these quadratics, you'll get 4 answers, but only 2 of them actually work out.